Konnichiwa, minasan. O genki desu ka? Welcome to the intermediate course of my channel. Let's learn Japanese with Eric. In this lesson, we'll learn how to express ability. I can do this, I can do that, using the conjugation ru koto ga dekiru. Yoroshii desu ka? Ja, hajimemashou. In lesson 8, you learned how to express ability with nouns, such as saying, I can do Japanese. Japanese is what you can do, and Japanese is a noun. We say, Watashi wa Nihongo ga dekimasu. In this lesson, we will learn how to express ability using verbs, such as when you say, I can speak Japanese. Can speak is a verb, and in Japanese, we translate this to, Watashi wa Nihongo wo hanasu koto ga dekimasu, or Watashi wa Nihongo wo hanasemasu, or Watashi wa Nihongo ga hanasemasu. Both mean the same thing. Hanasu koto ga dekimasu is the long version of saying can speak, while hanasemasu is the shortcut version. In this lesson, we will learn how to conjugate both. Let's tackle the long version first because it is easier to make. If you recall the 10 basic verb conjugations, which we tackled in lessons 26 to 30 for each verb category, the conjugation that we use to express the long version for ability is the ru form or the dictionary form, which is the plain, non-past affirmative. Let's deconstruct the conjugation. You take the verb in its dictionary or ru form and add the set phrase koto ga dekiru. Koto means fact, and we use it to nominalize the verb clause before it, turning it into a noun clause. We studied nominalization with koto in lesson 44. The rest of the predicate is ga dekiru, which follows what we learned in lesson 8, expressing ability when it is a noun. While in lesson 8 the nouns were single words, here in this lesson the nouns are noun clauses that are nominalized using koto. Dekiru means can do or doable. So the whole conjugation literally means that to do the action is doable. Dekiru is a category 1 or ru-dropping verb, and it's what we conjugate to express the other tenses. To say I cannot do or one has no ability to do something, we simply conjugate dekiru into its negative, and the whole formula becomes ru koto ga dekinai, to mean that to do the action is not doable, therefore I cannot do. Let's do a quick review of how dekiru conjugates into the 10 basic verb conjugations as a ru-dropping or category 1 verb. Dekiru, can do. Dekinai, cannot do. Dekita, was able to do. Dekinakatta, was not able to do. Dekimasu, can do, formal. Dekimasen, cannot do, formal. Dekimashita, was able to do, formal. Dekimasen deshita, was not able to do, formal. Dekite, te form. Deki, conjunctive form. Let's look at some examples. I can eat sushi. Our verb is taberu. In Japanese, we say, Watashi wa sushi wo taberu koto ga dekimasu. Watashi wa sushi wo taberu koto ga dekimasu. I can make a hamburger. Hanbaga wo tsukuru koto ga dekimasu. Hanbaga wo tsukuru koto ga dekimasu. Mary can read kanji. Mearie-san wa kanjiを読むことができます。Mearie-sanは漢字を読むことができます。Mr. Smith can count in Japanese. In plain style, Smith-sanは日本語で数えることができる。Smith-sanは日本語で数えることができる。Ken cannot write hiragana. Ken 君はひらがなを書くことができません。Ken 君はひらがなを書くことができません。Mr. Tanaka cannot open the door. Using plain style, 田中さんはドアを開けることができない。田中さんはドアを開けることができない。Can you sing a Japanese song? あなたは日本の歌を歌うことができますか？あなたは日本の歌を 歌うことができますか? Can you study in a noisy room? うるさい部屋で勉強することができますか? うるさい部屋で勉強することができますか? Can you come to school tomorrow? 明日、学校に来ることができますか? 明日、学校に来ることができますか? And as an example of past tense ability, when I was young, I could drink lots of beer. Toki means time, and wakai means young. So, wakai toki means the time when I was young. In Japanese, we say, 若い時、ビールをたくさん飲むことができました。若い時、ビールをたくさん飲むことができました。I couldn't go to Japan last year. Using plain style, 去年、日本へ行くことができなかった。去年、日本へ行くことができなかった。Now let's learn how to express ability using the shortcut conjugation, which is less formal than the long version. The rules for doing so depends on what category the verb belongs to. For category 1 or root-dropping verbs, let's look at the verb 食べる, which means to eat or will eat. Drop the ru ending and replace it with the suffix られる. So 食べる becomes 食べられる, which means can eat. The new conjugation still results in a category 1 or root-dropping verb. Formal of 食べられる is 食べられます. Cannot eat is 食べられない or 食べられません. Could eat is 食べられた or 食べられました. Could not eat is 食べられなかった or 食べられませんでした. For last hiragana changing verbs or category 2 verbs, here are the 9 kinds of endings. Kugusu, bumunu, rutsu, and u. These endings change to the e series, turning to ke, ge, se, be, me, ne, re, te, and e. Then to these new endings, we add ru, and the new verb behaves like a category 1 or ru-dropping verb. So for example, the verb kaku, which means will write. The ku ending becomes ke, and we add ru to form kakeru, meaning can write. Kakeru behaves like a category 1 or ru-dropping verb. Formal of kakeru is kakemasu. Cannot write is kakenai or kakemasen for formal. Could write is kaketa or kakemashita, and could not write is kakenakatta or kakemasen deshita. We will examine lots of examples on how to make the shortcut ability shortly. As for the 5 commonly used irregular verbs, only suru, kuru, and iku participate in the ability conjugation. Aru and da cannot be used. Suru becomes dekiru. For example, benkyou suru, will study, becomes benkyou dekiru, which means can study. Kuru, to come, becomes korareru, can come, and iku becomes ikeru, can go. All these new verb conjugations behave as ru-dropping verbs during further conjugation. Let's practice making the shortcuts. One little thing before we do that, when using shortcut conjugations for ability, the direct object can take the usual particle wo or the subject particle ga. Just like we learned in lesson 8 when we say ga dekimasu or ga wakarimasu. The newly conjugated verbs behave like adjectival predicates. Let's start with the ru-dropping verbs. After the verb example is a simple sentence using it. Try to see if you can guess the meaning. Akeru means to open, and akerareru means can open. Jiro-kun wa mado ga akeraremashita, or Jiro-kun wa mado wo akeraremashita. In English, Jiro could open the window. Window or mado is the direct object and could take the particle wo or ga. Neru means to sleep, and nerareru means can sleep. Shinpai de neraremasen. Shinpai de neraremasen. Because of worry, I can't sleep. If you have trouble figuring out how particles are used, for example, the particle de in this sentence, please review lessons 22 to 24 on Japanese particles. Yaseru means to get thin. Yaserareru means can get thin. Undo shitemo yaserarenai. Undo shitemo yaserarenai. Even if I exercise, I can't lose weight. You can review how to make the even if conjugation in lesson 50. Now on to category 2 verbs. Aruku means to walk. Arukeru means can walk. Eki made arukeru. Eki made arukeru. Can you walk until the train station? Kiku means to ask a question or listen. Kikeru means can ask a question or can listen. それはお母さんに聞けないことです。それはお母さんに聞けないことです。That's something I can't ask mom. This sentence uses koto to nominalize the clause お母さんに聞けない. To review nominalization, please watch lesson 44. Oyogu means to swim. Oyogeru means can swim. あなたは泳げますか? あなたは泳げますか? Can you swim? Isogu means to hurry. Isogeru means can hurry. もっと急げませんか? もっと急げませんか? Can't you hurry a bit more? Hanasu means to speak, and hanaseru means can speak. Nihongo ga hanasemasu ka? Or Nihongo wo hanasemasu ka? Can you speak Japanese? Kaisu means to return something. Kaiseru means can return something. Kino hon wo kaise nakatta. Or kino hon ga kaise nakatta. I couldn't return the book yesterday. Asobu means to play, and asoberu means can play. Ame de soto de asobenai. Ame de soto de asobenai. Because of the rain, I can't play outside. Erabu means to choose. Eraberu means can choose. Nakanaka erabenai. Nakanaka erabenai. I can't quite choose. They're all nice. Sumu means to live in a place, and sumeru means can live in a place. Nihon ni sumemasu ka? Nihon ni sumemasu ka? Can you live in Japan? Yomu means to read, and yomeru means can read. Jim-kun wa kanji ga yomeru, or Jim-kun wa kanji wo yomeru. Jim can read kanji. And there's only one new ending verb in the whole Japanese language, and that is shinu, to die. Shineru means can die. Yurei wa shinemasen. Yurei wa shinemasen. Ghosts cannot die. Tsukuru means to make. Tsukureru means can make. Keiki ga tsukuremasu ka? Or keiki wo tsukuremasu ka? Can you make a cake? Noru means to ride, and noreru means can ride. Uma ni noreta. Uma ni noreta. I could ride a horse. Matsu means to wait, and materu means can wait. Boku wa mou kimi o matenai, or boku wa mou kimi ga matenai. I can no longer wait for you. Katsu means to win, and kateru means can win. Ikura ganbatte mo katemasen. いくら頑張っても勝てません。No matter how hard I try, I can't win. 会う means to meet, and 会える means can meet. 来週の火曜日に会えますか？来週の火曜日に会えますか？ Can you meet next Tuesday? 買う means to buy, and 買える means can buy. お金がないから買えない。お金がないから買えない。Because I don't have money, I can't buy it. Now our examples for category 3 verbs. 行く means to go, and 行ける means can go. 一人で行けますか？一人で行けますか？ Can you go alone? 来る means to come, and 来られる means can come. 一人で来られる一人で来られる I can come by myself. 旅行する means to travel. 旅行できる means can travel. 私はいつでも旅行できる。私はいつでも旅行できる。I can travel anytime. To summarize, in this lesson, we learned how to express ability with verbs. There's the long version, which is easier to form and is more formal, and the shortcut version, which is more colloquial, but unfortunately more complicated to form. To say can do, just take the dictionary or rule form of the verb and add the set phrase KOTO GA DEKIRU. Dekiru is a category 1 or rule-dropping verb, and it is what's conjugated to form the negative and past tenses. To say cannot do, the formula is rule form plus koto ga dekinai. To form the shortcuts, how you conjugate depends on what category the verb is. For rule dropping or category 1 verbs, drop the ru ending and replace with rareru for can do. The new verb is a rule dropping verb, so to say cannot do, the verb ends with rarenai. If the verb is a category 2 last hiragana changing verb, the last hiragana of the dictionary form changes to the E series and you add ru. The new verb is also a ru dropping verb, and to say cannot do, ru changes to nai. For the common irregular verbs, only 3 verbs participate. Suru becomes dekiru, kuru becomes korareru, and iku becomes ikeru. Again, the new conjugations behave like ru-dropping verbs. And this ends our lesson on expressing ability. Ru koto ga dekiru. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Otsukaresama deshita. If you're serious about becoming fluent in Japanese, it's important to practice daily, learn grammar, and build up vocabulary. My whole course is designed to give you a strong basic foundation in the Japanese language that you can build solidly upon. So please click like, share, or subscribe and watch the next video in the series. Nihongo no benkyou ni ganbatte kudasai. じゃあ、またね。